Hello, Kevin Burrows, back with the next episode of our podcast series on responsible AI. AI has changed the game for how people work and how we deliver for our clients. With humans at the helm, AI has allowed us to focus on higher value work, but we know there's skepticism about the impact on the workforce. And perhaps the biggest question on the minds of everyday Australians is, what does it mean for my job? To help us answer that, Chief People Officer Karen Loneran is with me today. Welcome, Karen. Great to have you. So, is AI coming for our jobs?
Oh, that's a big question, Kev, that's on everybody's minds at the moment. I don't think that's the right way to think about things. I think what AI is coming for is certain skills. And people often say, should I be worried about AI? Being worried never really helps. But taking action does. I think what people need to be doing is focusing on building out their skill sets so that they can augment their set of skills with AI and become more productive, more effective, more creative in their day jobs.
So don't stand still, act.
Absolutely. Acting is the key. We shouldn't be worried about AI. We should be worried about not investing in skills and development.
We have a concept of humans at the helm of AI, and that implies that AI isn't coming for our job because we're going to need those humans in the helm. Say a little bit about your feeling about that sort of role for humans going forward in the AI world.
So I think the first thing I would say, Kev, is I think there's some real lessons from history in all of this. What we've seen with every other phase of technology change is that the technology changes the nature of some of the work we do, and it does sadly mean that some roles end up not existing anymore, but it does always create a whole lot of other roles, and those other roles are the essentially human roles. So skills like creativity, skills like thinking through complex ethical questions, things like really fine judgments, things like providing context are all essentially human skills. Our skilling program really focuses on those things because we know that everybody needs to get better at those things in order to be relevant in an AI world.
You know, AI will lift our productivity, should lift our productivity as a country, as businesses, as communities. We should all get better at that. How do you think it's going to end up helping teams just deliver better outcomes for businesses, clients, customers, patients, all sorts of things? How are the teams going to get help by AI?
Well, I think there's two things embedded in that question you asked, Kev. The first is what is productivity really and how AI will help with that. Productivity is one of the essential challenges of our generation of leaders within Australia, and we have to use AI as part of the solution. But real productivity improvements only come when you stop doing one type of task and you do a more value-adding type of task. Yep. So what we're seeing within our firm is that AI is taking that lower order, heavy lift kind of work away so that our brilliant, creative, thoughtful people are able to focus on things that really deliver for our clients, and that's the sort of work that will have the impact on helping teams deliver better outcomes, whether that's in a healthcare setting, whether that's in a financial services setting, or for us in a professional services setting.
When we look at the trends that you're beginning to see that are impacted by AI from a workforce perspective, what are you seeing? How are you thinking about them?
So I think what we're seeing is Australian businesses really being very thoughtful about how they're going to approach AI, and I think we're starting to get some differentiated approaches, and there's some lessons in that for us. For me, what is really critical is we've got to think about how we bring our people on a journey so that we're helping our people build skills for whatever the future looks like for them. For many of our people, it will be doing the same jobs but in a much more effective and engaging way. For other people in our firm, it will be doing different jobs in our firm to what they're doing today. And for some people, it will mean doing different jobs in different organisations. So the focus has got to be how we build skills that people can use in the future. Grow here, go further is the tagline that we use for our employment brand, and I think that is particularly valid for an AI first world.
So Karen, at PwC we're on this crusade to upskill our people right from me and our chairman all the way down to our graduates that are joining us today and going to go off on an AI residential course. Do you want to say a bit more about what we're trying to do? Because, you've talked a bit about everybody needs to upskill. What are we doing?
We've launched the next phase of our AI skilling journey, which creates a pathway for every person in our firm. It's different for everyone depending on their particular role and their stage of career. It's all about providing upskilling across 30 core skills. 15 of those skills are essentially human, and 15 of those are what people would more likely recognise as technical skills. And we believe that mastery of those skills are what are critically important for our people going forward in whatever role that they're doing. It's really important for our people to focus on those skills and continuing to develop their skills, because what we're finding is that AI replaces skills, not whole jobs. So what we've got to do is continue to build out our skills so that people are doing their jobs in a different way. Now, a small number of jobs, all of the skills in that job end up being replaced by AI, and then we need to help that person build skills to do a very different job. But for most people, it's about doing their current job in a different way.
That's super insightful. I think, Scott Likens, our global data officer, said, it's not about doing things differently, it's about doing different things. Yeah. So.
Indeed.
Karen, that was fantastic. I really appreciate you taking the time with us today to go through that. It's a very difficult, complicated problem. Keep an eye out for our next episode where we'll be discussing AI innovations and how we manage the risks. Thanks very much for joining us. Bye-bye.